You're probably already familiar with AnyDesk. It's a remote support software. Both parties install it on their systems, and each system gets a unique ID. You share your ID with the other person, and by entering that ID, they can access your system. From there, they can either perform tasks on your system, provide support if needed, or maybe just grab a file or something like that. Let's head over to the system and explore the various features that AnyDesk offers. Here I have two laptops. I've already installed AnyDesk on one and will install it together on the other. Now look, I clicked on download on the AnyDesk website. The download button was on the previous page. I clicked download here and the file has been downloaded. It's not strictly necessary to install it for it to work. Just running it is enough. However, installing it on the system gives us full access to all its features. When it's opened, simply opening it and clicking accept is enough to complete the setup. Once it's installed on the system, we're good to go. I can go ahead and close this window now. It'll wait for AnyDesk to load. It might ask for confirmation to install the printer driver, and then it'll click Get Started. All right, this is the AnyDesk dashboard. Up here, I can see the AnyDesk ID. On my other system, I have the exact same setup. Now, I want to allow this other system, the one with ID starts with 602, to connect to my system. How do I do that? I share my ID with them and they enter it here. The number appears in the top address bar. I'll click this tab. Just like you can see, a request has now come in on this system. Here, the user can choose to accept it to grant access to the other person, allowing them to work on their system. I'll click accept. And now, as you can see, I can fully see the other person's desktop and interact with it. Let's go over some of the features available in AnyDesk. One great thing is that instead of having to check the system's IP address or check the RAM by going through Windows, you can simply click this button and see all that data right away. For example, here, I can see the CPU, graphics card, and even their system's IP address all in one place. Just wait a moment for it to load, and then I can see all the data right here, along with other related details. Another feature here is the ability to view the system's disk activity directly from this section. If I use this system frequently and often need to connect to it via AnyDesk, I can mark it as a favorite, so it stands out among the other systems I occasionally connect to. Another helpful feature in AnyDesk is the file transfer option. For example, right now, I can go to the desktop and easily transfer the file over. I go here and create a file named test. Then I return to the file transfer section, go one level up, and navigate to their desktop. I can see the test file there. I right-click on it and download it. It gets downloaded directly into this directory on my system. As you can see, it's being downloaded into the Documents folder here. One really great feature that AnyDesk offers is the ability to directly copy files between systems. Let's take a look. See this same test file? I copy it here, then minimize AnyDesk. On my desktop, I can easily paste it. See? The file appears. The same thing works the other way around too. Let's rename this file, for example, to test2. I press Ctrl and C to copy it. Let's go back to AnyDesk. Here I simply paste and test2 transfers very easily. The same thing happens with text. If I've typed something on my system, I can copy it and paste it on the other side. The next thing is that AnyDesk provides a set of features. For example, I can take a screenshot of the screen, view it in its original size, or switch to full screen mode just like you're seeing now. From here, I can go back to the previous view. If either side has a slow internet connection, I can optimize the AnyDesk connection accordingly. Right now, since both sides have a strong connection, it's automatically managing the connection based on quality. But if the connection were slow, I could switch it to prioritize speed instead. The image resolution and quality will decrease a bit, but the connection speed will improve. I'm not sure if you can see it clearly in the video right now, but at the moment, the quality of the background on the remote system looks significantly lower and blurry to me. The cool thing about AnyDesk is that it has this feature. When I connect remotely to another system, if they move their mouse, I can't see their cursor. But I can fix that issue right here by enabling Show Remote Cursor. Now, when they move their mouse, I can see their cursor too. Another great thing about AnyDesk is that we can easily chat right from here. I can click here and, for example, type hi. The client on the other side will receive my message. Then they can reply here like hi there. Just like that, we can easily establish a chat session between the two systems. Now let's move on to the next feature. when we click on this lightning bolt icon here. It has some really useful features. For example, if the system has the server version installed, we can use functions like sending Ctrl, Alt, and Delete to the other person's system. This can be really handy. We can click here to send the Ctrl, Alt, and Delete command to the system we're remotely connected to. Another cool feature here is for situations when I connect to a system via AnyDesk. But sometimes during remote session, I need to switch sides. For example, where I say, hey, just take a look at my system and see what I'm doing. So now I need to share my screen for you. So here I click on Switch Sides, watch what happens. It asks for confirmation, and now you can see that my AnyDesk window has minimized. The remote system operator is now actually seeing my screen and can control it. I can click Switch Sides again here to return to the previous state. The next thing here is taking screenshots. It's really easy to take a screenshot of the remote system. Here on the keyboard, there's nothing special going on. It's automatically being mapped. Another feature available here is transmit sound. Keep in mind, for your privacy, it's better to uncheck the transmit sound option. Sometimes the user on the other end starts using their mouse and keyboard at the same time as me. That makes it hard for me to do my task properly. In situations like this, we can use the block user's input option here. Once it's enabled, the other person won't be able to use their mouse or keyboard, and I can easily work on their system. And whenever they need access again, I can simply unblock it from here. Once my AnyDesk session ends, the mouse and keyboard control will be returned to the user, so there's no issue there. The next thing here is the record feature. I can start recording from here, and it will capture everything that happens on the remote system. As you can see, it's currently recording what's going on. Whenever I'm done recording, I can stop it right from here. Let's take a look at the remote system. If you look closely at the top, this red circle indicates to the user that the session is being recorded. All right, let's stop the recording. You'll notice that the red circle has disappeared. From here, I can view the recordings. If I click on this hamburger menu and select Session Recording, I can see that, yes, there's a recorded session here. I can double-click it and play it right here in AnyDesk. So, as you saw, AnyDesk is a really interesting and useful tool, and you can use it a bit more professionally compared to the usual way. I personally use AnyDesk a lot because, sometimes a friend or someone I work with calls me and they explain the issue really bad. I don't know why people do that. Some people really explain things incorrectly. They have one issue, but describe a completely different one. It totally misleads you and wastes your time. So wherever I'm working with someone, I install AnyDesk or similar software on their system. Before they even start explaining the problem, I tell them, hey, open AnyDesk so I can see what we're actually talking about. Then I fix it directly on their system. This way, you really save your energy and time, and you can move forward with your work much faster. Before we dive into the rest of AnyDesk's features, if you're enjoying this video, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. All right, we're back to AnyDesk. One of the features that really comes in handy, especially in line with what I just mentioned, is using these editing tools. For example, if I want to highlight or circle an item to point it out to the person on the other side, I can come here, select this pen tool, choose a color, red is fine, and then say, hey, I mean this option right here. If I click by mistake, I can erase it. Just hit the erase button and everything gets cleared. Then I can select the pen tool again and draw around the item we're talking about. This way, the other person can see it much more clearly, and it makes it a lot easier for us to move the conversation forward. There are also a few other shapes available here that we can use depending on our needs. All right, I'll clear all of these by clicking this little button. Now let's move on to the next feature. One really great thing about AnyDesk is its privacy mode. Let me go back here. Privacy mode is right here. Look, to explain privacy mode to you, I'll first disconnect this. Look, I might want to install a disk on someone's system and do something, but I don't want to know what I'm trying to do. Meaning I don't want them to see the process or the work being done. If the user on the other end see exactly what I'm doing step by step, and next time, no one will come to me for help. So maybe it's really important for you that when you access someone's system, their screen goes black so they can't see the details of what you're doing. Let's take a look at how this feature works in AnyDesk. I'm going to open AnyDesk again on this system over here. Here, if you want to do this, make sure to tell your user to select the last option, Allow, to enable privacy mode, and then click Accept. Once they click accept, I can then click on the shield icon you see here and enter privacy mode. Once I enter privacy mode, you'll have full access to the remote system's desktop, but they won't see anything. Right now, on the right side of the screen, there's absolutely nothing visible to them until I decide to turn off privacy mode or session ends. There are a couple more things to mention. One is that sometimes we might need remote access. For example, I want to leave my own system on at home, and occasionally I need to use AnyDesk to grab a file or do something on my software. Up until now, the issue has been that someone had to be physically at the system to click accept so I could connect. But here, if I click on this hamburger menu and go to set password, look, I can set out a password on AnyDesk. Now, by setting this password, the person on the other side doesn't need to manually approve my connection anymore. Let's go to the local system and set this password. I click on menu. Then here you'll see that there's no set password option directly, but I go into settings, then into security, and here you'll see the option enable unattended access. It asks for a password twice. It says to set a password. So I enter the password. I click apply, and that's it. Now I've set up AnyDesk on this system, and I no longer need the user's approval to connect. Look here, I completely closed AnyDesk once and reopened it. I sent the request, and now I don't have to wait for approval anymore. I just enter the password I set, hit enter, and I've got access to the other person's laptop screen. Let's take a look at all the settings options while we're here in the settings section. We can open the settings from here and see all the features that AnyDesk settings offer. We'll show you this settings section on my system so it's clearer. In opening the settings, look here in the user interface section, I can assign an alias to my AnyDesk, meaning instead of the other person needing to enter my ID, I can give my laptop a name. For example, I can name it Ramtin Net Admin. Up here, it's also telling me that this alias is available. If I register it, then in addition to my laptop's ID, this alias will also work. So anyone who enters this alias can connect to my laptop. It's much easier to remember. All right, let's see what else we have here. Here in the privacy section, remember I mentioned audio section? Here, look, I click on disable so that my voice won't be transmitted anymore and I can have more privacy. All right, this video is finished too. It ended up being a bit long again, but I tried to thoroughly go over AnyDesk's features. All those things that take your use of AnyDesk to the next level. AnyDesk isn't just for laptops. You can have it on your phone too. From mobile to laptop or laptop to mobile, you can use AnyDesk in all kinds of ways and work with it. I hope this tutorial has been helpful for you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you have any questions, no matter how simple, I'd be happy if you write them in the comments section. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends who might find it useful. Thank you so much, and until the next video, take care.